right. So let's take a peek. Yay. Let's take a peek. Okay. All right. So my computer, I'm doing a live gallery. Sorry. Dang it. Okay. So there's going to be a slight lag in what you're seeing and what I am seeing, but that's always kind of the way it is. And hey, that's not a bad idea, right? All right. So hello, everybody. I was able to get on without any glitches tonight, which is awesome. So make sure you let me know in the chat if there's any difficulty hearing me or if there's lag on your end. I will see what I can do on my end. So let's get started and we'll go from there. So thanks everybody for joining me. I'm Rebecca Foster, in case some of you don't know, and I think everybody here knows who I am. I am going to just read as many people as I can from the chat based on your name. And the information that I get comes from spirit guides, from people who have passed over, and from God. And most of it's from God, but they're kind of like his messengers in a way. I do not consult the dead. I will repeat a message from them, but I don't ask them questions. And we will simply go from there. Everything comes through symbolically, so I will do my best to decipher what it is that I am seeing and hearing. And I'll explain to you first, given that it's a short amount of time, I'll explain to you first what I am being shown, and then I'll explain to you what it means. So then you'll kind of get a little more of a depth meaning. And what you're here to, to ask a question about, I don't let people ask questions because I prefer that everything comes through cleanly. But you may be here tonight expecting to hear something and then you get something else. It's just what I get very quickly for the short amount of time that we are spending together. So I will get started reading. I'm an eye contact person, so looking into my camera is looking into your eyes, but while I'm reading, I am looking off up here at what my guides are showing me with that third eye. And so my view is to that instead of you. So we'll get started. The first person, I will start with Brenda Moy. Let's take a peek at what Brenda is doing. So Brenda, you look like your guides are showing me, you look like you're on like a wave runner, some motorized boat of some kind. And you're completely prepared for it. You're barefoot. You are in like a life preserver vest and bathing suit. You're enjoying yourself, no makeup, your hair's a wreck, and you're enjoying yourself, you're living it up. And so the fact, water of any kind represents, the way that it presents itself with you right now represents opportunity. And the idea that you're on the water and not in it is what's most important, because if you were in it, it would be a completely different situation of trouble and drowning feelings. However, you're on a watercraft and you are having fun. So this represents opportunity opening itself up to you or presenting itself to you, and then you opening up yourself to that opportunity. And it looks like it's something that at first you may decline or be uncertain about, but when you take the opportunity, you actually enjoy it. It's like carefree, letting go. And you're barefoot, So that tells me that anything that comes your way right now, externally, is not going to affect how you pursue something. So it's not going to feel like you're being held back by anything, a person or a situation. You're not going to feel it's going to be holding you back. And then again, that the clothes really don't mean anything. They just show that you are prepared when you go out on the water. So you're not in a skirt suit, which is good. So this is actually personal. It's not business or career related. Because if you were in like a suit with heels, that would probably mean something to do with business, but you're not. And so don't decline it. And then the other thing that they want me to acknowledge to you is your smile. You know, smiling and not being self-conscious, if that's the right way, because when you're smiling really, really big, and then every now and then you like cover your mouth. And so what they're saying is like not to hold back. Don't be afraid. And just the biggest, widest smile that you have. Not whitest, like the color white, but wide. That's it, okay? And white smiles aren't a bad thing either. It's always good to keep teeth clean. All right, so Brenda, that is, oh, and then before I move forward there, it looks like you're gonna have a visit from somebody. It looks like a male. So there'll be a visit coming to you from somebody, possibly a son. Feels like that kind of a visit. So let's see what else. Okay, and Brenda, yeah, the weather is horrible. We had huge, I posted on Facebook today, we had major hail today, major hail. Lorela, you were able to get on tonight. So let's take a peek at Lorela and see what's happening. Lorela, make sure that everybody in the BRR chat room knows we're doing this tonight. Because I think JV has been superbly busy because I have not heard from him in a couple of days. So I think he's completely forgotten about me, but that's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Brush it off. All right. So Lorela, what is going on with you? Let's take a peek. All right, let's see. What are you doing? You look like you are like climbing a mountain. Like there's a word for it, and I don't know what the word is. Somebody on here will know what the word is. But you look like you're trying to climb a mountain, but you're using like a rope. So you're holding onto the rope, and there's a word for it. And somebody knows what it is. But you are walking up the wall and holding onto this rope, and you've got like a helmet on and like a GoPro. You're in sneakers and shorts. And I'm watching you, and you go up, and then you lower yourself down, and then you climb back up, and you lower yourself back down. So what this is trying to say is that, and I explained this in the video yesterday, actually, just a different way. So climbing something that's upright like that, or a boulder, or a larger mountain of that sort, what this says is that at some point you decided to change your surroundings, and you decided to take a risk and explore new avenues for yourself. This would have been something that has already happened. And so you would have climbed to the top of this boulder, you would have checked things out, you would have met new people, met earth angels, individuals who would confirm your path, let you know you're going in the right direction. And sometimes that means that we leave people behind at the bottom of the boulder. And it's not our fault. They just choose that this is not a path for them to climb the boulder with us. And kind of like when it comes to experiences and growth, people are just happy where they are. You know, they're good where they're at. They don't want to know how to learn how to speak Japanese or Spanish or Russian or whatever. They're good. And so by opening up yourself to new things, you open yourself up to new people and experiences, and sometimes that can be a hazard. However, what it shows is that you got up there, and then you created this little thing where you could hook on and come back down, and then you could go back up and come back down and go back. So what it's saying is you're compromising your happiness and your personal growth to keep somebody else or other people happy. And so at some point you have to put this climbing gear away, and you have to just go to the top and stay there. And it's up to the people who decide to stay on the bottom to find a way up and to climb up and decide to climb up there with you. Otherwise, it's not your job to keep going down and trying to make other people happy and comfortable. So it's really time for you to move forward and venture off across the top of that massive expanse at the top of that boulder. And it's time for you to let go of things that you cannot change. And a lot of times, people, we can't change people. We can't make them do something they don't want to do. And that is your message, Laura, for you, is to just, I don't know if the right word to be count your losses, but it's kind of like that. So you just have to kind of let go of some things. Okay. So moving on, Blurpy 24. All right. Hello, everybody. I just want to run down here. Tiff Marie, I will figure it. I remember your cake thing because I've never seen that before. And that's interesting. Okay. All right, Ramadeep, thank you very much. This is my easygoing, don't have to do anything look. Literally just roll right out of bed in the morning and not do a thing because I don't have to. I'm pretty low maintenance. Annabelle, hello. Anna Marie, thank you. Amy Bell, all right, Gainesville, Virginia, yeehaw. And then we've got Kenneth Lear. Ken, okay, hi, how are you? All right. Leslie O'Donnell watching, yay, okay. Just running through. All right. And Kim, thank you for letting me know that it was 84 degrees there. And Brielle, watching on my mommy's phone. Hi, baby girl. How are you? I'll share some orange Tic Tacs with you when I get there. Deborah Taylor, good evening. Steve, hello. Jen, hello. Kiki, hey, hello. How are you? You are a new face. I will get you, I promise, tonight. And all right. Okay. So Blurpy, let's start with you next. So when I read for people, my guides will give me like a beach setting, and that's where I go to really get a person's initial. That's the first thing that I really try to look for. And the beach represents safety, security, and grounding. Water represents problems or situations that a person can feel coming at them, but it can also represent opportunity, like I was saying before, because she was on the water on a boat or a raft, and that's good. In the water, blah, 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 is not good. That's not a good deal. So, my cat. So there are a whole bunch of different expanses on the beach that I have a drawing upstairs, but I couldn't find it for you fast enough. I just realized I should show people what my beach looks like, what the beach looks. But there's a whole bunch of other things that if it is shown to me, I will explain to you. So with you, Blurpy, the first thing that I'm going to do is just take a peek at your beach. Okay. I'm going to kind of pick you up, and it's funny, I just kind of drop people to see where their guides are going to toss them. And the first thing that they do, Blurpy, is they put you away from the water and away from the beach, and it's up more up on the kind of overlooking everything. And there's an area that is a forested area, and it's my black cat right here on my lap on Friday the 13th. Whoop, whoop. Okay. So this forest for people will represent difficulty. It represents going things alone. So if you've ever watched a video, you've heard me explain what the forest represents. And it's narrow, and it's just a compact of really tall trees. The only light that comes through is through the canopy, and it's like a dark green. And it can be scary for some, and for others, I've seen them walk in and kind of just like go, oh, fine. Like, I can breathe. I recognize this, I know it, and now I know I can trust it. Really, it's like a connection to spirit. And outside of this is where you've landed. And you've put up like a lemonade stand. And it's this little table with a little like curtains and everything. And you've got food and apples and bread and drinks and blankets. And what you have done essentially is provide people with comfort who will be entering a dark time in their life. So even though it's your beach, there is a representation here for compassion and representation for being able to feel others and to understand others. And this is something that you might be dealing with right now and being called to deal with currently, where you might be working amongst or living next door to somebody who is going through a difficult time, and it will be brought to your attention. And rather than looking away, kind of think, okay, maybe this is my situation, maybe this is it. And allow spirit to work through you for that person. Allow yourself to there are times when I say, oh dear God, I am not going to say this right. So I need you to work through me because I'm about to incinerate someone. And I have to sit back and take a deep breath because I am not very tactful when I'm upset. And I have to allow him to give me the right words. And so sometimes by doing that, it's, oh gosh, I was just drained all of a sudden. I don't know why. My eyes started twitching. Like my energy just all like that. Like we just had a power outage. Allow spirit to work through you to help this person because it's there for a reason. And they're bringing it up to me to tell you that you have set up with the food and the giving of yourself and being able to help others. And so it may be one person and it may be several people, but it's important for you to know this right now so you recognize it and you deal with it. And it's just important for you to know. And it feels like it's maybe involving work or a work situation and it's weird, but it almost feels like it's techie or it's involving technology. That's weird, but maybe you work for IT company or something. I don't know. However, it feels techie. It feels computer related. Okay, so that was for Blurpy, formerly known as Renee B24. Okay. Alicia Snow. Hello, Alicia. I haven't seen you in a long time. All right, Alicia, what do you have going on? What are you wearing? It's interesting. This is really cool because I've never seen this before. And I love when they do that. But you're on your beach, which is good. So you're in control of things, good or bad. Whatever the outcome has your signature on it. So be careful. I always warn people of that. It's you are in control right now. Things are going your way. But you are wearing beach-worthy outfit, which is okay, like shorts and a tank top. And then you've got gym shoes on, and you've got like snowshoes on over that. And I'm looking at that, that's really interesting because you know how when you put your shoes on and you sink into the sand when you're trying to walk and it's like, oh my God, my thighs are killing me? Well, it almost keeps you afloat on the sand better. Like it just disperses your weight so you're not sinking into the sand, kind of the same way it does with snow. And you're like hiking like this, like trekking along and the water is just to your left. You're not paying any attention to it. Although it looks like you want to, but you aren't psyching yourself, like you're paying attention to where you're walking and you're just determined and you're walking forward. So first off, like I said before, shoes represent a situation or a person that you would feel is holding you back. However, to counter that, you've put these snowshoes on for the sand. So what it's really saying is don't put a Band-Aid on a boo-boo. You know, don't go find the source of the problem and deal with that. Don't put a Band-Aid on something to cover up the real issue. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? It's almost as if there's a person or a situation that you may not want to face or deal with. It may just create discomfort. It may be something that will upset someone else. I mean, it can be hard. It can be difficult to sometimes bring up the truth or confront somebody with something, especially if they're going to take it the wrong way or difficulty. Leah, but it looks like you have to because it's not going to last. I mean, first of all, that is hot. Okay, the gym shoes on the beach and the snowshoes, got to take that off. deal with the problem, deal with the situation, relieve yourself of that stress and let it go. So that is your message. Es muy importante, okay? Very, very, very important for you to remove the Band-Aid, because it's not like the knee injury will not be fixed by putting a boo-boo on the bleeding part of your knee. Get it? Okay. So that is for you, Alicia. And I see your babies around you, and you look very happy there. Or they look happy around you. All right, Rachel Zutla. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I hate mispronouncing people's names. Let me just kick on down here. Laurelot makes sense. Good. All right, I'm glad. And try to be in control. Yes. You're welcome, Blurpy. You're welcome. Yes, depends on the issue, personal, professional. This feels like, to finish that up, Alicia, it feels like it's not so much professional, it feels more personal, but it feels like that person might take it personally. Correct? Is that what I just said? It's not, yeah, that's right. It's not professional. It's personal. So they're going to, yeah, take it personally. Exactly. Okay. So hopefully that helps. All right. Annabelle, I know you're always here. You're always here looking for a message for Hunter. And I promise you, I always keep my messages open for him. The problem is that Hunter is always around, and that's not a problem. What I'm saying is that he's always there, and it's like he's just hanging out as I'm doing this all the time. And he doesn't so much say anything. He just laughs at me, or he, looks at me like over a couch. A lot of times he's with you guys, paying attention to what's going on here. And so it's like he just hangs out, like he's just family. He doesn't really come through and say anything. He just is there. And I'm always watching for him to give a message of some kind, or to say something specific about what's going on at the house that day, or what you are doing. And just to give confirmation and acknowledgement that this is really him. And unless they do something specific, I don't just call it out, because I don't want it to look like I'm like, oh yeah, Hunter's here and he's wearing a blue shirt. I don't want to do that. There are certain things that he does though. And the only thing that he really shows me right now is that he's facing what looks like a television, and the couch is, from my perspective, I would be at like a counter or something, and there's a couch, and there's another chair or couch, and then a doorway over here, and kind of like back over the couch. That's all he's showing me that he's doing. So I would assume that he's with you right now. But I always watch for Hunter, because he is part of the game right away. I promise you, though, if I ever hear him say anything, even while I'm doing this tonight, I will let you know. Okay, so let me get up here to Rachel. Rachel, all right, hello. Let's take a peek at Rachel. Cat just falls asleep right in my lap. I could be crouching down to pull a pan out, and he jumps in my lap. Like, really? All right, Rachel. All right, the first thing they show for you, Rachel, you must, I'm 5'6". You must be like my height, maybe a little bit smaller or petite. At least that's how they present you. But you look mighty. You look intelligent, and you look like right now. They're showing is that there are these double doors, and there's two, and maybe you're not petite, but they're wanting me to point out that small but mighty information for you right now. There's two gentlemen. Yes. And they push open these doors, and then a woman walks up to them, and she's also taller than me, taller than you. And she's like, ha ha ha, okay, do you have it? And they're like, yes. And you come flying in there, and you're like, no, stop. It's not what it looks like. This is mine. And so you are dressed for success. And it looks like something that you have been working on or moving forward with. The first message that I would, looking at this, I would give you is be careful who you share things with, especially when it comes to business, when it comes to ideas, concepts, projects, making sure that what you put into an idea and the project itself is recognized, because it looks like it might very well be easy for you to kind of be squeezed out of something. And so, I mean, this is more of a preventative measure of making sure your voice is heard and making sure that when you have an idea that you present it or share it right away with a boss or a supervisor and just say, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. This is my idea. And this is why I've come up with this idea. Because the others won't have like why they did it. They'll just be like, this is what we came up with. Well, why did you do that? And you will have the backing for that. It feels like this is something that could move you up within a company, and if not handled properly, you could lose. I still feel either way. It's funny because either direct, like you're here, and then either way that, like, let me show you the count. Like either way, you'll go like this, and then the same outcome doesn't happen. However, an experience like that can change a person. Like eventually, the whole situation brings you to a new, higher level of education or learning. And I know it looks businessy, but it almost looks healthcare businessy. Interesting. And then I hear somebody else speaking like a different language. I can hear someone, I don't know if that's Spanish, but it's definitely a different language. And I can hear them, and you're sitting there, and I'll move on in a minute to the next person, but you're sitting there and you're kind of doing what I'm doing. It's all of a sudden you're like, and you're listening to this person talking, and then you get up and you're able to deal with this. So I'm not sure if you speak another language or what, but there's something that you're able to communicate and save by speaking another language. I don't know if that's now or if that's part of the educational part that you do in the future, but if you are inspired to go back to school or to further your education, to learn something new for your line of work, I would say definitely do it. It looks pretty awesome, the successes that you reach there. Down here and make sure I'm not missing any. All right, let's see. Thank you, Dennis. Hello, how are you? How are you? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any. Hi, Lizzie. Daisy Rye. Hi, Kim. How are you? Okay. All right. Hi. Hello, my Kims. Or is that Brielle? All right. Okay. Let me move back up here. I just want to make sure I'm not missing responses or questions to things I'm reading. Lalanya, let's take a peek at you. Okay, Lalanya, the first thing for you, I mean, right away. It is breaking habits time for you, Lalanya. It is, I don't want to say the word severing, but breaking habits and breaking ties. And it's not so much like a smoking habit. It is a relationship habit. It is breaking habits that you may not realize in relationships. And that could be one, that the relationship itself has become a habit. And so it's no longer positive, it's more toxic. And it can also mean habits of those people that you attract or who you are attracted to, and breaking that. And it's funny because we all have like a type. We go for a type of person. They may be tall or short. They may be blonde or brunette, blue eyes, brown eyes. We go for a darker skin, lighter skin, freckles, big butt, little butt, big back, wide back. People have a type, and then they go for it. So what I'm telling you to do is to not go for your type. To not go for your type. It's interesting because I also see a baby around you. I see a little. I think that's a little boy. But I hear girl too. So you might be pregnant right now. Interesting, because I'm seeing a little boy, but I'm also hearing girl. So I wonder if you're pregnant right now. And breaking habits, right? I mean, that is what your guides keep telling me to tell you is, I hate the word ultimatum, but sometimes we have to say to some people in our lives, we have to say, you know what? This is what I need, and this is how I need this to go. And if you are not capable of giving that to me, then one, it's not fair to me. And two, it's not fair to you that I'm asking you to be this way, because you shouldn't have to change for me. And so ultimatums kind of affect both parties. And it really looks like by bringing up a conversation or a topic that you might be able to open someone's eyes who maybe have just become complacent with your relationship or your friendship, and simply saying to them, this is not good. This is not working anymore. This is not good. This is how this has to be. And unless we can do this together, maybe we don't belong together. That is your message. And it's first and foremost, regardless if you've got 1 kid or 10 kids, it's important to make sure you're taking care of yourself, your heart, your spirit, your happiness. And it's much easier said than done. It's much easier said than done. But it's your message, and that is for you tonight, Lalanya. So I hope it makes sense. And I hope it gives you kind of a confirmation, like, you know what? I know I've been wanting this change. I've been feeling like this, and I'm not crazy to want it. I'm not being some psychotic woman that it's that kind of thing. Sometimes when you hear from others, as this is coming from upstairs. So upstairs already knows, kind of keeping you on track, keeping you on your path, making sure that you do what you're meant to do, because everybody has their own path, their own destiny, and what they need to do to achieve. So hopefully that makes sense. So Leslie Nanya, Leslie Nanya, hello. Let's take a peek at you. All right. Leslie, let's see what's going on with you. I see you. I just need to see what you are doing. Oh, you're doing a lot of things. Oh, you are busy. And you look scattered, like you got too much going on. You got too much on your plate. You are not doing enough to take care of yourself. For one, you do too much for others. You need to learn to say, let me get back to you on that. Because then you can go sit down, get a glass of wine or coffee, and think, do I really want to do this? And it'll give you some time to get out of it without having to agree to it, and just letting someone know, I'll get back to you. Because when I drop you onto your beach, you were on your beach for like a split second, and then you're like Supergirl. You fly to the house, which represents you specifically. You're planting flowers, which represents your ability to give to others. You're scooping up flowers that are grown, and then you're flying. It's like you've got a lot going on, and you're busy, and you need to take some time for you. I can only imagine. It must be like me. I mean, it's like by the end of the night, you're going, did I breathe today? Because I don't remember breathing. And so I get it, but that is your message, not mine. I should probably heed it, but that's your message. And I'm looking and waiting for them to say she's got to remove something from her plate. It's not that. it looks like it comes down to better time management. You look like you're really good at managing time, but not, you don't have enough on your plate scheduled for you, like your downtime. That's what you need to add to that. So you can keep all those things on, saying no more, and it means putting some time in there for you. I'm gonna draw a plate. Everybody should get a paper plate. Thanks here to Leslie's reading, and get a paper plate. And then, well, this isn't my idea. Okay, this is upstairs. I know, look, I look like a genius and all, but it's not my idea. So take a paper plate, take some cardboard paper or some whatever, cut out some things that, write them down, like, this is what I do. This is what I do. My kids, my home, laundry, dinner, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you do during the day, and create a cutout and then put it on that plate and think, how much more of this? What, where do I fit into this mess? And then think, well, this doesn't have to be here. I can cut this out. This kind of merges with this, so I can, and maybe help you to identify what you're doing and where you could fit some more you time into, that's actual, like, relaxation you time, where you're not on your phone and you're not multitasking at the same time. So Leslie, that is for you. And you look very successful, and you look very determined, and you look like a person who does not like to be idle for too long, because your brain starts doing wackadoo things, and then you create all these new projects for yourself when you are idle. And then you don't even like sitting there. It looks like you still, even when you're sitting there, you are contemplating what needs to be done. Okay. So that is for you. Moving down here, Alicia, I am in Wisconsin now. I was in Iowa, loved Iowa. I'm going to be scheduling some things in Iowa. I'm going to be coming out there for all y'all in Iowa. And I just want to, Amy Bell, I see you. Diane Moy, I see you. I do love my black cat. Okay, I am going to, I just want to make sure no more little ones for me, but I had a loss that's always haunted me. Okay. All right. And I wonder, Lalanya, if that's why I'm seeing two, because even when we have a loss, regardless of how it's lost, those spirits will tend to stay around us and help guide us from that side rather than from here. So you would have either a child living here, or you will have a guide on the other side. And so and they both look like real children. So I'm assuming that that would probably be the case. If it's not a living child, it's around you. You have two children around you right now. Thank you, Jeffrey. Shreve, thank you for calling me amazing. It's really not me. I'm pretty just normal. I allow myself to be used by God, and then I put myself out there. So thank you, though. It's all God. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just doing what he has asked me to do. So let's move here. So we've got Rachel, Julie Butcher. Hello, Julie. I'm not sure. I'm going to get back to you, Julie, because as soon as I got to you, I didn't hear anything. Jean, don't feel left out. I'll get to you as soon as I can. So Jean, I'm sorry. I hate reading this because then it looks like I'm doing nothing on the camera, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody. But I've got you, Julie, in my head here. Jean Parkinson, let's take a peek. Jean, it looks like you have a man coming through for you who has passed over. And this feels almost like it's not platonic, so it's like a loving kind of an energy that comes through. And it sounds like a D is like a Doug or David, a D initial. And I'm listening, and it sounded like he just said, well, he's holding these flowers, and it looks like he's like at a train station, and he said, I couldn't stay. I had to get on the train. Interesting. So I'm wondering what you're talking about. Like, was it a situation where you were expecting to see him in like a different form, and he couldn't stay? And that's why I'm listening to him. Now, again, I'm 5'6". Standing next to him, he would be like 5'8" in height. He's not very much taller than me, the way he presents. He feels like a serviceman, and I'm looking at him thinking, he's not Navy, he's not Marines, airman, work Air Force, airman or something. He could even be Army. I mean, he looks like he could be like a foot soldier. Italy. Interesting. Very interesting. And his uniform is like a darker green, so he has one of those classic uniforms on. Let me move down here and see if okay. Thank you, Amy Bell. But Gene, he keeps talking about a train and having to get on a train. And I'm wondering if this is like, and it's like not a brother. And if I don't know if this is like husband though either. I'm waiting for that connection. I keep throwing it out there and I'm not making it. So I'm wondering if this is like father or grandfather that is okay. That just kind of made my stomach flip a little bit. So I'm wondering if that may be when you feel your guides, I get David. Okay, interesting. So you get a David that comes through on your guides. Now, that would also make sense. Let me clarify what I was saying before, because he kept saying, I'm sorry because I had to get on the train. But it's a passed over train. It's not like it was a living train. I'm wondering if something happened where you were expecting a guide to help you or guidance from above and you didn't get it when you needed it, kind of a thing. Hi, Christy, and I'm wondering if you can recall something like that. Well, when I look at this gentleman, he looks older, and he looks like he is like gray or salt and pepper around the sides, and then the top is either bald or that he may comb over a little bit. That's kind of what he looks like. He may be younger. In heaven, they usually are, but when they come through to me, they want to acknowledge things about them. And he looks human. He looks like he would have been human. So if you have a guide that you think is named David, it's very possible that he was human at some point. And you would want to look back through like family lineage and find out where there's a David who would have been in the service, who might be guiding you at this point. Maybe a great uncle, great great grandfather, that sort of a thing. But I would look into that. And Melissa also comes through, and something about coming to see you. So hopefully that'll make some sense to you. All right, so let us get up here. I know you're gonna have 1,000 questions, right? But I have to cut this guy off because he's gonna keep talking. You know how they are when they get older. They just want to talk. No offense. All right, so I still see you, Julie Butcher. I still see you. The only thing I get for you, and it's so vague that I want to ignore it, but it's like you switch jobs or you're switching jobs coming up, and it looks like it will affect how you live or where you live. So look, you like have a total turnover, but it's so unclear and it's vague, and I don't like giving vague messages. So that's where I'm going to leave that with you until something comes through that's clear. Kiki, if that's correct. If not, correct me, because I don't want to give you the wrong, I hate giving the wrong names, saying the wrong names. So let's take a peek at Kiki. Okay. Let's see where you are. Interesting. You are holding a door for people. You are open. And the room. Okay, so for you, this message is really cool because I've never seen anything like this before. But like a round room. And I've seen round rooms, seen rooms with lots of doors, but this room has a lot of people who aren't sure which doors to open and are kind of confused. A few of them are just wandering around. And you're not in the room, you open the door for these people. And they are seriously like dumbfounded. They're confused. They're like, "Oh, there's a door. Should we go through it?" It's like sheep. It's really weird how they're just unsure of what to do. And I get a lot of times when we are at a point where we are confused about which door to open, where do I go, what do I do? We might stand there looking like that, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which door to take. You know, I know I've been there. But when you open the door, you do so with a command, with leadership, with strength, and I'm trying to look at how the door opens. You're standing on the outside and you push the door open to the in. And I think that's interesting because some people get caught behind the door and they're like, dong, dong. Like they're caught between the door and the wall now, and they're just like a bee against a window. Sorry, it's really bad to laugh at people like that, but the way they show me the visuals, sometimes my guides have really good sense of humor. Ow! Don't bite! Golly, gee willikers. So you open the door and you're like, hey, come around this way. Nope, this way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. So you finally get this dude to come through and around, and people are walking through the door like, wow. So you are in slacks, black shoes. You have a blouse on, looks like it's tucked in and belted. Your hair is really simply done. It's not extravagant. It's very spiritual. It's very godly. Your makeup is very minimal. And those representations basically tell me that, again, spirituality, and that you are being pushed from above. So I'm supposed to account for that or mention that, acknowledge that. So all these people come through this door. What this means is that something is going to happen in your life that you are going to either recruit or move all of these people from a stagnant point in their life to success. So if you are involved in, let's say, direct sales or sales of any kind, opportunity, if you're selling Tupperware, if you're selling something or you have the opportunity to get involved in a direct sales company, or where you are recruiting people in, it looks like you do a phenomenal job and that you change lives. So it's like, excuse me, somehow or another, whatever line of work you're in, you are changing lives and you're recruiting people and making them go from feeling lost to wonderment and walking through the door. And it's funny because you're like, come on, don't dilly-dally, let's go. Yep, the door is open. And so you're not rude and nothing like that. You're waking them up to what is potential for them. So that's really cool. And I would take advantage of that, because if you've got spirit pushing you and helping you, you are not going to fail at all, at all, at all. So Julie, yes, starting at the end of the month, this is good. And actually it's going to cause the ball to roll. So it looks like you also will change home of some kind. Steve Erickson, woohoo for the 5-6ers. Okay, 5-6ers like my height, or for the guys that are 5-6ers? Okay. Now let's go back up. Oh, what type of flower? What was the question there? All right, I didn't say Gene Park. Oh, what kind of flower did the guy have? It looked like wildflowers. It looked like it wasn't roses or daisies, tulips, lilies. It was like wildflowers with like baby's breath and all. It's like if somebody were to just scoop something out of the field. Okay. Tiff Marie. So basically, trying to figure out the cake. What I remember was it was a beautiful cake, and that's all I mean, yeah, I remember you sitting there and it's between your legs and you're sitting there and you're just eating the cake. And I don't remember what your message was. I do, but that's how it works. It's like I get it and I repeat what I'm told and how I'm shown, and then it just kind of leaves. I don't, if I can remember it, I will try my best. You may have to go back and listen to the video again. Jen Seidel. All right, Jen Seidel. Let's take a peek at y'all. Jen, let's see what's going on. Okay. Where did you go? You were right there. I just want to make sure I don't screw it up. Okay, Jen, let's take a peek at what you are doing. Jen, I can see you, but you're foggy. You're veiled. I hear you. Okay. So this is what's going on with you, Jen. So when I look for someone on the beach and there's a veil, this tells me that something is going on in their life that God is saying, I need to talk with you. And they make it difficult because even if I try to look around the veil, the guides are like, no, and they get in my way. So I can see it's like a frosted glass. It's really what it looks like. So I can see where you are. You're on your beach. What I notice is that you're on your beach and you are yelling at the water. Like you are frustrated. And it sounds like you're asking, like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? So what this is telling me is that something is going on with you or something is happening around you right now where you might even, it may not, let me correct this. Something may have already happened that has caused you to question, like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And you're yelling at the water, but it's like you're conversing with God here. And there might be a little bit of blame or frustration where God is concerned. And so it's almost like he is wanting you to go to him for an answer. And, it's funny. I just want to make sure I'm clear and I'm paying attention and I'm hearing you, because you're like even throwing rocks at the water. There was no time, didn't get a chance. It's interesting. So there's kind of a spiritual frustration. I don't know. This is for everybody. So I don't know if you guys have watched that movie, The Shack, but I'm being told to tell you, Jen, to watch it. Jen's like, and it will. Thing about movies, when I'm told to recommend a movie, is not that it's going to solve all of your problems, but while you're watching a movie, you get immersed in it. You get really involved in it. You take on, you listen to the characters, you see what they're going through, and we are able to identify with certain things without absolutely accepting the same situation or responsibility on ourselves. And it does allow us to release tensions and to acknowledge certain things that we're going through based on a movie. And I'm just being told to tell you to watch it. Being told to tell you to watch it. And it might help you to get the answer that you're looking to figure out. I know that sounds crazy, but I can't see you clearly because there's a veil. And I am not the one to be able to give you your answer, apparently, of what direction to do, how to fix something, because it goes much deeper than just the earthly superficial stuff, if that makes sense. It already did happen. Okay, and you lost. See, okay. I figured it as much, especially after you said I didn't get a chance. It happened, whatever you said, like it happened too soon, or I didn't get a chance to say it or do. And I figured it had to do with the loss of someone, but you weren't clear on what you said or about who. It's really interesting. So watch the movie The Shack. And I think it will give you some, like a portal to open up to start that conversation with him and get your answers. And when you start that conversation, listen up here, listen back here. Don't listen here. We listen here, we listen here. That's where we get those messages. And as far as your mom, I'm just looking to make sure that I'm not picking her up because I don't want to leave that hanging. I'm going to make sure that, and I think there might be a disconnect for you. Perfect. So you did watch it. So pay attention to that, and it might help you with that. But look, I'm looking for your mom to see if she's anywhere around the energy, and it feels like there's a disconnect between you and her. So you may not even really feel like you've either connected with her or felt her around you or dreamt of her. And a lot of it may be that you have some forgiving to do, and releasing of that tension. And then if you're feeling that much pain, and this I'm going to say to everybody out there listening, when we lose someone, they may, they go to their funerals, they go up to heaven and check in, they go through their life and, oh, I wanted to do that. I knew I should have do that. I want to date him or her. I wanted to do that and I never did it. We go through all these things and we think, next time I'm going to totally do that. And we may come down, we choose, we want to live as a movie star. We want to be a rock star. We want to be rich. We want to be poor. We want to come through. We want to be blind. We want to learn what it's like to be handicapped. We want to learn what it's like to have Down syndrome. We want to learn what it's like to lose our hearing, to lose our parents, to lose our mother at birth. We choose our difficulties. We choose them. And these people all, once they check in, they can go anywhere. They can sit with you on the couch and watch TV. They can go to their birthday parties. They can go to Christmas. They can do all of these things. It's when they come down and all of a sudden you're typing and you're like, oh, that smells like my mom. That smells like my dad. That smells like my grandma. And you're looking around like, all of a sudden now you have this floodgate of emotion and energy that comes through. And it's because they're so close to you. You sense them, you smell them. And now you're in pain again. You're in pain over the loss and you are hurting, and they back away, they pull away. So if you're in a lot of pain or upset over their passing, they may limit their contact with you until you've healed a little bit, so that every time they're near, you're not all of a sudden trying to fill that void again with their energy, because that creates pain, physical pain. That's a whole other story. But once you can get through some of that, and I think you're already starting that, but there is something about forgiveness that has to happen here for you. She'll start to probably come through more often, or make herself more present for you. And you will find joy when she's around. Because I know that people who've passed over, and I'm like, why are you here? Just go away already. And there are people I talk to like that. So yeah, it is super, super, super cool. Okay, so that was for everybody. And I think I was about to say something else. I got off on a tangent and then I just completely forgot. So okay, Amy Bell is new, and I'll grab Amy Bell. Amy keeps getting cut off. Okay, so Amy is new. Diane Moy is new. All right. Steve Erickson. Steve, I will. Distractions. What does that mean? Distractions. That's funny. I will grab Steve now. Okay. I'm just going through all of these readings here. So I believe Steve is next. And then I will get Amy Bell and everybody. I'm just moving up. This thing just takes forever to get up. Okay. Where the heck is it? There he is. Okay, Steve Erickson, you are next. Okay. So I did Jen just now. Now it's Steve. Okay. Steve, let's take a peek. Impatience, impatience. I'm one of the most impatient people out there. And I definitely can read that. Steve, let's see. I want to hear what your guides are saying real quick. I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to drop you down. So you have 3 guides around you right now, Steve. And normally we have between 1 and 6. So 3 guides around you. I want to see where they're placed because this will have something to do with what you're going through, what's going on. They're comical, they are funny, but they also look like they're kind of frustrated. Your guides look like a little frustrated. So you figure your path, and then you've got front, back, and 2 sides. You've got 3 guides around your night right now. So 4, if you had 4, I'd be like, seriously, okay, pick up the slack, but you don't. You've got 1 on either side of you, and the one on the left looks like he's just like struggling and tired, and I'll explain that in a minute. The one on the right is laughing at the one on the left because the one on the right's kind of an easier job. This is funny. And then you've got one that's either in front or behind you. Right now, from the looks of it, this one is behind you. Okay, so what this is telling me is that you're on this path, okay? We cannot turn around and go back. You can't turn around and go back or redo things. This is a forward motion path, okay? Now, the right side is dealing with, your creativity, your spontaneity, your artisticness, your intuition, your get up and go, your spunk. And the left side is dealing with logic, reason, consequence, all of those things. And the left side, that guide is like, ugh, like every few minutes you're like falling over that direction. It's like holding you back, like keep them straight, keep them up. And the one on the right's laughing, thinking this is funny. The one behind you like I said, is currently behind you. So what this is saying is right now, I don't know how old you are, and I don't know what is happening, but what your guides are saying is it is time for you to take full responsibility for everything that's going on with you, both good and bad. Celebrate the victories, celebrate the joys, celebrate the things that you have accomplished and your signature is on. And then when things go bad, sit back and really think, what just happened here? Did I totally just screw that up? And it looks like it's the logical stuff. It's the critical thinking things. It is the thought processes. Those are the things that you may neglect. And your guides are saying, be more intuitive. Pay more attention to your gut. Open yourself up to what your guides are trying to help you with. And it's not that bad that we're, it's so confusing. I know, I'm trying not to confuse you. Some people are really, really, really book smart and really, really stupid about the streets. You know what I'm saying? And you look really book smart. Like you know a lot about the world, politics, governance, healthcare, and you can really sit down and have a logical, really great conversation. But when it comes to just the simple things or the basic things, this is where you struggle, and this is where you put off a lot on other people. And what they're saying is celebrate what you know you've succeeded at, but acknowledge what your part is in everything if it fails or if it did not go your way. And these are learning processes. You know, when I tell people, they ask me, how did you learn to do this? How did you get where you are now? And it all comes down to I was wrong for a long time. I had to learn what was good and what was the bad. What was the angels? What was the dark angels? What was God? What was the devil? And when I first started doing this, I would just read for people and I would throw things out. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. And then go, that's right. Okay, ching, that is where I plug in. Okay, that's wrong. You might be saying, okay, that is bad. Okay, so unplug from there. And I was wrong. And I didn't mind being wrong because then I was able to see where I was right. And I knew then how to recognize where I was wrong. And that is how you learn to trust your guides, is by allowing yourself to screw up and be wrong. And then you know where, and you can feel it and you can hear it and you know where you're right. That's how we train ourselves to hear our guides. And I've been doing it for 32 years. I know now that if I see something, I know it's right. Somebody may look at me and go, girl, you are crazy. That is bad. You know, people are like, no, 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 no. She's, you know, but I know what to trust. And that's why I put myself out there. You have to do the same thing. And your guide behind you, it's funny because you keep leaning back on your guide and your guide's like, move. And you kind of dig your heels in and they're trying to keep you moving forward. So it all comes down to responsibility right now and accepting full responsibility for everything that's going on around you, pulling away any kind of blame or placement on other people. Figure out what it is you need to fix, where you want to grow, how you want to do all those things, and then just stand up on your own 2 feet and keep your balance. And you can do it. Absolutely, you can do it, or they wouldn't be wasting your time by you being here and making me talk for the last 10 minutes. So obviously your guides have some faith in you. And you should have some in your faith in yourself as well. Okay. Yeah, you are. You are super logical and book smart. You really are. Um, so even though you've struggled with learning disabilities, you are very logical, and it really just comes down to connecting and accepting where you are right and where you are wrong. If you can just start there, like this is a bad connection, this is wrong, and then moving forward with it, you're just going to succeed. Learning disabilities, I think everybody has some kind of a learning disability. Maybe it's because we flip our letters. Maybe it's because we can't read certain handwriting. Maybe we can't pronounce something. I think everybody has, and it may be a social learning disability that someone has, where they can't look someone in the eyes, or they don't know how to shake hands, or they have some kind of agoraphobia and they're terrified of being out. You know, there's a lot of disabilities. And so saying, I have a problem with this, and then working on it, that's all you need to do. Don't label yourself as any kind of learning disability. Just remove that, because you have a purpose regardless of that learning issue. There's a purpose behind it. And then you go, okay, this way there's a learning disability, but if I go this way, look what I've done. And so remove that label for yourself, because your guides have some massive, massive faith in you. All right, so let me go back to the top here. Leah, I saw that you said that you got timed out, and I will get there. I just want to make sure I get everybody that is new. Good evening from Kansas. So Deborah Taylor. Have I read for you, Deborah? Hello, Ramandeep. How are you? Deborah Taylor. Why do I know that name? So funny. Maybe you were on the other night. I don't know. Deborah, let me just take a peek for you real quick. I'm going to get bit again. Deborah. Like, I washed that off real quick. Deborah, where are you? I'm not sure I'm seeing you. There you are. Deborah. So what this is you Okay, so I'll explain this to you, Deborah, but this is for everyone, the beginning part. So when we are faced with a T intersection or a Y intersection, okay, so there's the right turn, which means you go right, or the left turn, you go left. So the right turn is everybody is standing there on your path and they're like, oh my God, come on this way, come with me. Deborah, we're over here. Everything's cool. And you know that everybody that you know is on the right turn. Everybody is, everything that you have known and have lived for the last 25 years is down this path. And then you've got the left-hand turn, and down this is like a dark tunnel, and it's got branches and wood and stuff covering it up, and it's scary. And you have little peepee eyes staring at you, spider webs and cobwebs and icky things. And nobody's down there like, hey, Deborah, we're waiting for you. It's pretty much a lonely, situation. So what'll happen is a lot of times we will take the right-hand turn because this is where everybody is. This is where everything is happening. It's what we know. And we'll take the right-hand turn. And everybody down this path is super happy. They're like, yay, she took the right turn. And everybody's happy except the person who has to take this because it's time for a change, but maybe we're just not ready. And I liken this to, this may not be your situation, Deborah, but this is how I liken it. Let's say a person who's in an abusive relationship and they've got kids, bills, house, family, and they know they should leave. They know they should go down the left-hand turn, but they don't have the money. They don't have nowhere to go, anywhere to go. There's just too much of a struggle. And so they take the right-hand turn. Now, the thing about the right-hand turn is it loops back around right to where you are again. And sometimes people will take that right-hand turn once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times before they actually say, you know what, I'm not going home. I'm leaving. I can't take any more of it. That's enough. And you finally take the left-hand turn. It's finally saying, I can't deal with this anymore. I need change. I need to grow. And that's what you did. You've already done it because you are walking down that path. I know I had to explain all that to explain where you are, but it wouldn't have made sense if I just said you were staring down a black pea hole and you could see light at the end of the tunnel. What you did is you took a risk. You did something that made everybody else uncomfortable except you. You finally did something that was meant for you to do. And that light, that pinhole of light that you see, that's your success. That's where you are looking to go. That's where you just keep on going. And the thing is nobody helps you along this trail. It's just you getting through it. And so it's also a good time to kind of pull your energy in and keep things to yourself while you are growing. Otherwise, you spread yourself out every time you talk to your friends or your family. And, oh, I'm going through this. Wake. Every time we do that, we throw our energy out to Joe. Here's a little bit to Mary. Here's a little bit to Colleen. And we feel stressed out by the end of the day. We feel anxious because all these people have some of our energy. Pull it in. Pull it all in. Collect yourself. And then figure out what part of yourself you want to grow or change or remove. It's awesome. It's like transition. That's a different story, but it is similar to that. But you're on the right path and you're going the right direction. So Ramandeep, you are next. And then I'm going to get down to just all these people have been waiting and I don't want to make anybody wait. Ramandeep, let me take a look at you real quick because I think what I'm hearing is that I told you something. I don't remember what it was, but it sounds like your guides are saying that I told you something that is still in the process of happening. And so you should refer back to what I told you before, whatever that was. And that something is still in the process and you are kind of like running barefoot down like a dirt road, no rocks. It's like a clay. It's just a really soft brown clay road and you're barefoot. So to further what I told you before, and you're like wearing shorts. I don't even think you have a top on. This is like high spirit. This is high spirituality and you're almost naked, which means that you are relying heavily on spiritual help and guidance, which is great. And you're barefoot. So nothing right now is holding you back. You are just, boom, you're like Forrest Gump running down the street, barefoot, half naked. And this is successful, but I can't, my main focus is from like your thighs down. And they gave me a flashlight. I don't think you're wearing a top. So you're in a successful position right now to keep on going. And that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I can tell you. So refer back to what I said before. It's still in the process and the success for you right now. All right. All right, I'm gonna get to some more people here. I know there's people I have not read. All right. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Let's see. Yeah, I saw you, Halia. I see you. All right. And so there's a Paula here, I think. Paula, Paula. I always have to throw in the name game because I love to sing that song. I do it for everybody. I like to do it for Ricky too and Lucky. Not around my kids though. That's just because I'm a stupid child at heart. I can't help it. If you're on my Facebook page and you would have seen my Facebook post, my daughter and I a little while ago, it was craziest, funniest thing. I almost peed my pants laughing. I was laughing so hard, but I cracked myself up. So I really don't know what to tell you. Okay, so Paula M. Let's take a peek at Paula in there. Paula. Okay, so Paula, you are kind of hiking away from the water on your beach, and you are moving up the dunes to a pathway that represents difficulty in this life that affects you now. Your back is to the water. You're not worried about anything right now. I mean, I'm reading all of you guys, and there's really not that many people on the water. I'm so surprised, but that's a shocker. I'm sure I'll find a couple. I'm sure a couple of you will be, but you are hiking up the dunes. It's really hot out. It's warm, and I'm watching you, and you're like sweating, and it would be really cool to jump in the water, but you don't, not while I'm reading you. You don't want to get in the water because it has bad consequences. So at least it means bad things. So you are moving up the hill, and I know this is crazy. And again, this path, this is where people who've passed over will come through. And I'm thinking, okay, where is she going? Because I don't see anybody coming up to the fence just yet to talk to you. It's like a vast field. But I don't see anybody coming up to it just yet. And let me update this too. Okay. And the next thing I see is like a bathroom, like redoing a bathroom. I don't know why somebody would be showing me that, but I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. And it just looks like you're redoing a bathroom. And the main thing they're showing me is like the toilet and the plumbing. And that's interesting because most homes have toilets in them now and bathrooms. And you look tired. All together, and I'm waiting for your guides to give me the go ahead and confirmation on this. It's so hot, you can't get in the water, you can't get refreshed, because if you do, then that would spell problems. So there is like so much hard work around you, and you're but if you try to relax or try to slack off or just take a break, you can't. That would be like an ill consequence. And it feels like it's involving someone else. It feels like it's involving family. And then it would affect you personally because this would be involving family. And again, bathrooms are in homes, and the home that's on the beach represents you specifically. And having the fact that they're putting this water in the house says that something where family is concerned would be affecting you personally on a very intimate level. So it would be spouse or siblings, somebody that could personally make you feel really, really badly. And you look tired. You look like you're so hot, like you just want to break, but you can't. And I'm waiting to see, and this feels like mother energy coming through. Mother, second level, probably grandmother. maternal grandmother, and paternal grandmother. Two opposite people, two very different people. And also, I think what they're trying to say, oh, how do I say it? It's so hard sometimes to put symbols to words. It's almost as if you are dealing with the consequences of someone else. Does that make sense? So something that someone else has gone through, a hardship, a pain, a struggle, a learned behavior, that is now your problem because it's being shown or thrust on you. There's something from what the grandmothers are saying, at least the one grandmother is saying that you are dealing with somebody else's problems that they need to actually deal with, and it's family. Something that someone else has to let go of, give forgiveness for, they have to deal with it. You're the one dealing with it right now. So you would be like a whipping post or somebody who's taking the brunt of someone else's hurt and pain and anger. And that's just not fair. And so that is something that you may have to walk away from or offer the light on the porch for when they decide that they want to take care of things and then fix them, that kind of thing. So not enabling, but offering guidance or help. Very important for you to do. And it's interesting how they place that all together. It's just why go around such a way? But sometimes the difficult things that they try to get me to understand, they do have to do a full expression. So that is for you, Paula. I believe I was doing Paula, Amy Bell. I read for all of you guys up here. Dennis Hancock. Dennis, let's take a peek at you real quick, and then I'm going to do Amy Bell. No. Dennis. Dennis, the one thing that your guides are telling me to tell you is leg health. I'm not sure why, but leg health. Making sure that they're not aching, they're not sore, and it feels like it would be more that maybe there is like either pain or I don't want to say cramping, but more ache. Excuse me, that would be like up towards like the hip groin area and more like the inside. So making sure that your circulation is working, that and I almost feel like my glands are swollen. So you're welcome, Amy. And Leah, I know you're there. I do know you're there. But making sure that like you can get online, since I'm not a doctor, and find out ways to help push and cleanse and move the fluids through your glands is what they're showing. And it feels like circulation in the legs is very important for you right now. So keeping your legs up or elevated when you're sitting, not crossing your legs, not sitting for too long. I did not read for you, Doug, yet. But it's important for you is your health and your circulation. And it feels more like legs. For whatever reason, making sure you're, rubbing your legs, getting on a treadmill or working them out, and then massage, I think, is the best way, like massage up your legs towards the groin where the glands are, and help them to filter through and excrete anything that they might be holding on to or blocking. So that is for you, Dennis. Okay, Amy Bell, you're next. And I think then, yeah, I'm getting through the list of people pretty quickly. All right. I know there's a whole bunch of people at the top. See, I haven't forgotten you, Leah. I'm just moving on down, and there's so many people that were. here before you. I have to make sure I get everybody. And there's, okay, I'm trying my best to get as many people as I can. So Amy Bell, let's take a pick at you. Amy, where are you? See what's happening. I just have to see it clearly. What are you doing? I just need to pick you up and kind of wash the scene here. Pick you up, put you down. Where do you go? Where do you fall? Look like the newest King Kong movie where King Kong drops and she kind of lays there and jumps up like, oh my God. That's what she looks like. You're like trying to figure out, how do I get away? It was funny. I'm sorry. That was funny. But I do as I crack myself up because I see these videos and they're just really fun sometimes. Okay, so you get yourself composed and you kind of brush yourself off and you're like, okay, where? Oh, and you look around like, oh, gosh, interesting. You're wearing heels, skirt, top, nondescript. There's a table, looks like a coffee pot, coffee cup. And then you're looking at your watch. I gotta go. I have got to go. I cannot, oh, I'm late. I'm so late. I cannot be, oh geez. Which is funny. So your beach, which should be your comfort, which should be your solace, is more like you don't enjoy it much. You can't enjoy it. Busy. There's something else that's happening where you don't want to be on your beach right now. And that means that there are personal things that you need to figure out, for one. Because that's what'll happen if I try to put someone down on the beach. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. It's because there's a process happening where their beach is uncomfortable. The beach is their place. It's your place. Everybody's got one, and it's just not the way you want it to be. So they're on it. And it's funny because there's 2 chairs at this table, but there's only 1 coffee cup. Excuse me. So there is a feeling of solidarity here. So if you're married, you may feel either that you have separate lives or that you're alone. And if you are single, there is a desire for someone to have the other seat. It's almost confusing because it's like you don't know where to really spread your energy. You aren't sure. It's like, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? Like, I know I should be doing something, but I'm not sure what I should be doing. Should I go find something new to make money doing, or should I invest my energy? It's like you are really at a place where I want to sit you down under a tree and just tell you to wait. Because I am putting you in all these different scenarios and your guides are kind of, so shall we talk? And they're like talking amongst themselves. They're not paying any attention to you. Like they're talking amongst themselves. That's really what your guides look like right now. And as I'm talking to you, they're like, she's fine. So that's what they look like. They're overclamped. They just, so you are kind of in a limbo, I think is the way to put it. And you may very well feel in a limbo, like nothing is progressing, nothing is changing, nothing is getting worse, nothing's getting better. It's like, where do I go? What do I do? And so I'm seriously picking you up and putting you under a tree and telling you to just sit, relax. You're ahead of the game right now. You're like the rabbit and the tortoise, you're kind of really fast and your soul obviously knows what to do and where to go. And you're a little bit ahead of the game. So I'm going to tell you to sit and smell the roses for a little while. Just don't try to make anything happen right now. Allow it to progress as it naturally should. And then you will see when it's time to get up and start moving again. You'll see when everybody else catches up, like, oh, okay, now everybody's coming, I'm gonna go. And then your guides will be like, okay, let's go get her now. It's time to go get her. It's kind of like that. So Amy Bell, that is for you to just kind of sit back and smell the flowers. All right, so Pika Pika. Kim, I don't know what happened to this, but everything is rearranged. So, Kim Del Ponte, let's take a peek if I see anything for you since your last reading. I don't know what, I love the fact that I am completely wiped of everybody's readings because it's fresh and I don't remember them, and I love that. It's bad because I do think that one of these days I'm not going to absolutely remember anything, and it's because I've trained myself to forget so much. So eventually this may not do well. But Kim, I can just tell you that I see you walking through, like down a hallway, but through a door, and you've already walked through the door, and there's doorways on all sides. And this is an earthly thing. It's not spiritual. So this would affect career, financial things, money, and relationships. And you've already passed the one on the left, which is money, finances, and career, and you are heading towards relationship door. So the way that they're presenting it is that something is going to happen with relationships coming up for you. And I believe it's somebody that you already know. And so it might start off as something as casual friendship and grow into something, but it feels like you already know this individual. And I don't think it was like a come on as a romantic thing in the beginning in the first place. Okay. Yay, Rachel, you have a meeting on Monday. Whoop, whoop. All right. Daisy Ree. Got it. Thanks for the correction. Daisy Ree. Let's read Daisy Ree because I haven't read Daisy yet. All right. I promise I'm going to get to Leah. I promise, I promise, I promise. Okay. Because as I said, Daisy Ree, I could hear her go. So I promise you I'll get you. Daisy Ree. Let's take a look. Where is Daisy? Daisy, you should be like in working in healthcare or a nurse or something, because you are standing by the side of the road handing big suckers out to people and smiling at them, and you're like, here, have a sucker. And they're big. They're like big suckers on a stick, and you're like, here, have a sucker. This make you happy. This makes you smile. This is for you. And you are handing out these suckers to people as they walk by. And you are turning the mundane day into like, wow, I have a sucker. And all these people who are kind of just like, yeah, they have this big sucker, and now they're really excited and they're really happy, and they kind of are like, wow, somebody did something nice for me. Isn't that amazing that people would be surprised that someone would do something nice for them, as if it doesn't happen enough on a daily basis to everyone? Pretty sucky, isn't it? I don't know. Always smile. You know what? Always smile. Always. And I'm hearing to tell this, but when you look at someone and you're shopping in the store, look them in the eyes and be like, hey, how are you? And sometimes you'd be like, people are like that, but you still feel good, and maybe they'll pass it on. And some people there's just no hope for. They're just crotchety. You can't change it. But you're passing out all this awesome energy and smiling and saying, hey, how are you? Have an awesome day. Ha-ha. You're having a good time doing it. So you're spreading the love and adding that to the universe. So that's a good thing. But your energy is really awesome, Daisy. And it's healing energy. I feel like sometimes we'll take a spiritual innate thing and we'll turn it into an earthly thing. So somebody who's supposed to come down and do healing may very well take a position as a nurse or a doctor. But at the same time, maybe your energy feels like it's a natural healing. So like either the healing of touch or Reiki, but feeling like you can feel people's energies, you're able to like empathically help them. And if it's something that you've ever recognized or wondered about, I would say definitely pursue that, because it feels like it's something you're naturally good at. The compassion, your ability to read people, you can sense what's going on. And so if it's not in the actual medical field, then you should go into Reiki and healing and even artistry of that nature, because a lot of times artists don't realize it, but they put so much energy into a picture or a painting that it's healing for people and it's helpful. And whatever you're doing, make sure that there is healing energy going through it. And that's the message for you, Daisy. That's very important for you to know. Okay. That is so funny. Okay. You know what, Leah? I am going to make you not wait any longer. I'm going to read you right now. But first, a message from our sponsors. I'm just kidding. You're welcome, Daisy. Okay, Leah. Let's take a peek at what's going on with you. Last time I said I was going to wear my hair back. Okay, I keep seeing, it's not my cat, but there is something over here on the floor. And it's hiding from me. Maybe it's my other cat. It might be my other cat, but I keep seeing him out of the corner of my eye. So, Leah, what is happening with you? Leah, you have, you have like beacon energy. You attract people to you. Male, female, old, young, you attract people to you. You have a very spontaneous energy that I would say probably doesn't do well with a lot of children. Maybe animals. Patience, I think, is what it comes down to. You're really good with animals, but patience tolerance. So I would say don't be around a lot of children. And you probably have 5. But they're making a joke. At least your guides are making a joke about your need for patience. But you you attract all sorts of people. People who are in need, people who are in need of direction, spiritual help, love, change. You attract them to you because your energy is bright. And when that kind of a thing happens, and I've mentioned this before, but people will misinterpret the energy that they feel. And some will misinterpret things that they see in a person, the energy that they see, and they take it as a healing thing. And sometimes you get these people and they're like vampires and they just suck the energy and the life out of you. And what I mean is don't let yourself be taken advantage of. If you are this great energy, you want to be able to protect it so that you can use it well and properly. And you also want to make sure that, even Jesus was like, I have done all I can. And he had to turn people away too that just wouldn't listen, that wouldn't believe him. And you have to know your limit when you are trying to help people or you're trying to guide people, be their friends. You have to know when it's time to say, you know what? I've done all I can and I have to cut cords here with you. So you just have to be able to decide who needs true help and who you need to let go, and understand that you don't want to be taken advantage of. But you're like this bright beacon. So you will also attract people to you who are addicted, who maybe are abusive. People who have a lot of lessons to learn, they will find you. And there's no reason for you to learn those lessons repeatedly in your life. If you, and this is for everyone, okay? This is something for everyone. If you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I love this person. They're like my best friend. And then all of a sudden your best friend says something or does something and you're like, time out. I've heard that before. I heard him or her say that. I've seen that happen. I don't need to learn this again. I don't need to go through this. I don't need to feel this again. I don't care how faded it feels, how destined it feels. It's time to run in the other direction. It is a test. And what will happen is we'll go through something traumatic in our life, or we'll go through a difficult time, and then we'll think we're over it. And our guides will say, well, not even our guides. Let me just correct that. It may very well be just other things that say, hey, um, what let's see let's see if she actually is over this. Let's see if she actually is going to get through this, or if she needs to learn it again. And you're thrown that test, and in recognizing what it is will get you through it. That's like your message for tonight. It is changing who you allow into your life, who you help, and who you guide, and using your energy in the right direction, in the right way. So you asked, do you think I'm gonna have a baby soon? Um, okay, so let me just put it this way. Sometimes a person will be in a relationship for 10, 12 years and never have a baby. They get a divorce for whatever reason. They get in a relationship, bam, they're knocked out. Because you're not supposed to have a baby person. It's just not supposed to be that. The child is like, I am not coming down to that person. I don't want that person as my father or my mother. I don't want that. I need this person over here. So until you get with this person, and it may not be that you need a new person. The point of the matter is that something in your life has to change, because children will wait for a parent to get a job or get a different job, or to quit drinking, to quit a habit, to children will wait to come down until the life is conducive to the lessons that they need to learn. And so you have to think, what has your guides, what have they said to you tonight prior to you asking that question, that this energy beacon of who you are has attracted to you, that this child doesn't want in its life? Who do you have around you that this child doesn't want to learn from? And then remove that person, or at least fix it, discuss it, find a way to change it. But listen to the whole message, and figure out what is it that would be holding the child back. And that's what I'm getting, is something in your life has to change for this baby to come down. Feels like a little boy, but something that's going on around you needs to change before it can come down. And if you're a beacon of energy drawing these people to you, you have to figure out how to control or change who is around you. And I want to make sure I'm saying that right, because it's like, it feels like a simple fix. It feels like something that's so simple to change. And it could simply be just happiness, making sure that somebody that is going to be around this child is doing something in their life that makes them happy and feeling fulfilled and satisfied. Correct. Happiness. The key word is happiness. Something about happiness is what this child is looking for. So hopefully that will answer your question. All right. So Donald is curious. And Rotom is here. Roseanne from Beyond Reality Radio. And Jeffrey Shreve, your wife. Who's your wife? Let's see. All these people, all these new faces. I'm super excited. Okay, let me run up here real quick. I have to make sure I haven't missed anybody who's been here listening for a while. So Jeffrey Shreve, you've been here for a while, and I'm going to grab you right now, because I don't think I read for you yet. Have I? I think I missed you. Jeffrey Shreve. You're welcome, Leah. You will have a baby boy. Okay, so Jeffrey, that was your wife. Okay. All right. So I will read for Jeffrey real quick because you've been here for a while. So Jeffrey, let's take a peek at what is happening. Oh my gosh, I only got 15 minutes. All right. Jeffrey, what do you? I see you. What are you doing? You are, what's the word? You're walking down a road and people are all kind of running past you and you're walking and just listening to what you're saying. And it looks like somebody has run past you and there's like, it's like you're in a race of some kind. Maybe it's just the human race. And this gentleman runs up along the side of you. Now you look like you're in jeans and penny loafers and a flannel and a t-shirt underneath, and you look like you're about to chop wood. And these people are all next to you and like they've got numbers on their front and their back, and they got the runner shoes and the little skimpy shorts and the tank. I mean, they're running. And one gentleman runs up next to, they're like a bunch of jockeys. Some of them are so tiny. And this guy gets up in front and he stops and he's bent over and he's breathing heavy. And then all of a sudden he starts crying. And so you run up next to him and you put your hand on his back and you're like, are you okay? Is it okay? You can do this. You can finish this. Just keep on going. You know what? Don't think about the defeat. Don't think about being hurt. Don't think about your body aching. You can do this. You're not even in the race. You're just there giving people that shout. There's like nobody on the sides. There's nobody walking next to us or they're cheering people on. There's nobody with water, cups of anything. There's no towels. There's nothing. It's just this road. And you're there for these people. You are giving them that last bit of confidence that they can do this race. And even though nobody else is pushing them, that they can do it. And you just kind of stop and you put your hands on your hips and you kind of watch the guy leave. And this is interesting, Steve, because this makes me, when I look at you from behind, I'm like, all of a sudden I saw like a flash, like God flash. That's crazy. And I've never seen anything like this before. But I almost look at you and I think healer, doctor, and maybe you didn't go through the medical field, maybe you didn't do something like that, but you're mentoring and you are inspiring and get them going. What are you waiting for? There's nobody. It's just you running this. And then it's like you are like, this dude feels like the only man in the world running the race and you boost him up to be able to finish it. It's really cool. It's really awesome. And you just stand there like, okay, he's one more on the road. He's running. He's good. And you don't like leaving people behind. So there is this boost coming through you that you almost, there's so much happening here. Something happened to you when you were younger. There was some kind of a connection to reconnect with spirit at that point. You may never have really made sense of it or understood what it was, but there is something going on with you that connected you to spirit, and it may have screwed up your life. It may have caused you to drink. It may have caused you to use drugs. It may have really made you feel crazy. And somebody like that, that's touched by something like that, that means that you may think this is nuts because you want to be earthbound or you want to be just the dude, but there's a spiritual work that's being pushed through you that it's almost like a calling. And I'm going to ask you how many times you see 1111 or 444 111 22233. Everybody's like, oh my God, I see it. Okay, so this is for everybody. You You have to wake up and smell the coffee. And that's what I tell to everybody that is going through this, that you have a destiny here that doesn't just involve yourself, it involves other people. And so if you're seeing 1111 or the triple digits of other numbers, it's because it's a wake up call. And it's up saying you need to do what you said you were going to do when you went down there. Yeah. And so a lot of times when somebody is touched to have to do God's work while they're here, either through ministry, through healing of some kind, or through what I'm doing, through communications, it can cause you to make you feel crazy and disconnected and unloved. And what will happen, what I mean unloved, is because as soon as God says, I want you doing this for me, and it doesn't have, I want to make sure that people understand everybody is supposed to be down here doing God's work, okay? But something connected you to him at some point in your life to where you wouldn't have wanted to stay here. You would have been like, I don't even want to live. I don't want to be here. I feel worthless. I feel this. And that's because when you get close to doing what God wants you to do, the darker things, the dark angels, you know, the devil, they whisper right here in your ear, and they're loud, and they say you're no good. Nobody loves you. Why are you even here? You're a piece of shit. You're this, you're that. Oops, that was the first swear for the night. Ding, ding, ding. You know what? I knew it was going to come out sometime. But anyway, they yell these things into our ear. And see, God, we have to listen really hard for him. We have to listen for him. Whereas the devil and everything else are really loud. So we listen and we hear them and we're like, we mistake that for ourselves. And that can cause a person to go into addiction. It can cause them to drink, just anything to numb or to block what they're hearing. So what you need to realize, and everybody needs to realize it, when you are pursuing something that you feel passionate about or inspired to do, or you feel like you are driven to do, that is God. That is spirit working in your life. If you are getting close to a success, the devil's going to come along and say, stop them. Do not let them succeed. And then all of a sudden your day goes to crap and things fall through and people break up and friends fight and fires happen and accidents happen and all the things, you know, that happen that cause us to feel like this is, I don't even want to go on. This is stupid. Why am I even pursuing this? That is success on the dark side. The dark side is like, yes, failure, we win, we win. That is the dark side. It's what they do. They laugh. I've heard them laughing before at people, at me. When I'm failing at something and I'm like, oh, I just throw in the towel. I'm freaking done. And then they're like, yes. And as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, hell no. And that's when I'm moving. I move forward. You don't let it break you down. So you, Steve, I think that's still I'm reading for, right? Steven is right. Am I correct? Is that who I'm reading for? Jeffrey Shreve. That's right. Jeffrey. If you feel at any point that you wanted to check out and you didn't, that's because you turned to the right side. You stopped listening to the other side. Super, 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 super important for you to know that you are not crazy, that you have not screwed up your life, and that you have major destiny that you are to fulfill. It's pretty awesome stuff. I can't kick you in the pants to keep you going any further fast enough. So whose birthday is it? Leslie, happy really belated birthday. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so wait, where was that? We've got Ken up here somewhere who's got this Leslie O'Donnell, and y'all from Twitter. So let's take a peek. Oh my gosh, my son, I just saw him walk behind me and I almost had a heart attack just now. Okay, wait, I don't even know where it's at. Let's take a peek. Is it Ken L? Ken? And my whole chat is totally screwed up. It switched to something here. So Steve, that's right. You did, Steve. You burned it was for Jeffrey, but it was the Shreve part that I was remembering, but it was for Jeffrey that last read. There we go. Okay, all right. So Rotom, and then Yes. Okay. And then there's all of you guys. Yeah. Okay. So I apologize if I'm not getting everybody in tonight. And look now, I'm just, you know what? Let me show you something. Let me show you my face. After reading for Jeffrey, and my face is on fire now, like burning up on fire. If you can see how red my cheeks are, that is spirit like coming through. And thank God, because yeah, I mean, it's awesome when I get hot like that. Like my face is on fire right now. And I love that. Okay, so Roseanne, can I see anything for your future? Let's see here. Exactly, Jeffrey, that's exactly it. That you're fulfilled. Yeah, you're mentioning the story about what I had said to Leah. It's so funny how stuff works. I'm telling you, it's just things are meant to be like that. It's awesome that you're a witness to that. So, okay, so Roseanne, Doug, my eyes itch when I wear mascara and I forget, and then I rub my eyes. Just never know. Okay. So Roseanne, let's take a peek at you. Really nobody on the beach tonight, nobody on the water. It's really cool. I mean, everybody is doing things and succeeding and really searching themselves out. Excuse me, Roseanne, you're further away from the beach. You are, excuse me, I don't know why I have like hiccups or like belching and I don't know why, but I am a good burper. Believe me, I can run with the best of them, but I won't do that right now. Okay, so you are further away. You're by your house. The house represents you specifically, and you are your garden. Everything is just immaculate. It's really taken care of. It's really beautiful. The garden represents your ability to give. The house is beautiful, and it's I don't even know. It's like a Cape Cod looking little house. Not very big. It's humble. It's simple. The doors are shut. The windows are open. The curtains are open, which show the desire for spirituality. But the door is shut, which is funny because you're like, we don't need to go inside. So you're not inviting me in. Let me see what happens. What happens when I go up to the door and I try to go inside? You say it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Interesting. Oh, but you do offer me something to drink outside. So you don't want me to feel bad. So you do want me to feel comfortable. And you don't want to be rude. You don't like to be rude. You don't want to be rude. You don't want to come across the wrong way. But you are not careful, but you care about what others think about you. Well, I think most people do care about what others think about them, but you don't like to make people feel uncomfortable. You don't like to make people feel like you don't like them. You're very careful about how you treat people. It's interesting. And you do so much to make sure other people are happy. Like I'm watching you and I'm just checking to see like, what do you do when I do certain things? I pulled some of your flowers. And you're like, do you like those? Those are great. You can have them. You can have the flowers, and then you immediately put more flowers in. So there's a bit of a control freak thing going on there, but that's okay too. You're worried. You're a worrier. You're a natural worrier. And I'm looking to see, like, when you look, because you're asking, do you see anything for my future? And I'm asking you, do you see anything for your future? And you're like, no. So you are very much in the present. You don't use your intuition very much. You're more of a scientific person or somebody who deals with what's in front of them. So that means that you don't worry unnecessarily, but you do worry about those things that are present in your life now. And unless it's brought up to you, you don't sit there and think, oh, what if? Oh, this could be. You're not one of those people who builds up and just jumps straight to the negative. It has to be in front of you for you to actually consider it or worry about it. If that makes sense or clarifies that. And it's like it's like transition is coming for you and change is coming, but you're worried that by being you or doing you, that it'll disrupt things. And it's almost like you're willing to make concessions and forget things so that others are not uncomfortable or so that others are not displaced from what they're used to. And so looking at that, I think that's great. But how much will you regret not doing once you're in heaven and you look at your contract in your life and you go, I knew I wanted to do that. I really did. And I didn't because, I mean, I think we're all going to have one of those moments, if not more. I mean, heck, just today it was like, I wanted to go. Well, I did totally cheat today. Oh my God, I was such a bad girl. I had donuts. I had 2 donuts from Dunkin' Donuts and they wouldn't leave my stomach. They were like big fat rocks in my stomach. So that was my hard lesson that I felt like I want to throw them up all day long. And they just sat there in my stomach. Never again. I won't eat a Dunkin' Donut again until like next year or something. But I did. I would probably regret doing it, but I would have regretted not doing it. So either way, I was going to be like, ah. So for you, look at the things right now and think, will I regret not doing this? And then if the answer is yes, go do it. Go do it. So let me take a peek here. I have Donald Saylor. Let's take a peek at Donald. You're brand new, Donald. I've never read for you before. So let's take a look and see what you've got going on there. And again, I apologize for anyone that I have not read for tonight. I'm so grateful and thankful that, you know, God has brought so many of you here and continues to do it, and being able to help and read for everybody. It really is awesome, and I'm thankful for that. So Donald, for you, so the first thing that they show you is, you know, those old, I don't even know what they're called. There's a name for them, but those tanker things that, you know, the crates that they lift up and put them on a barge or a big ship and they bring them over from China, lots of them, and then they pick them up and they put them on the back of a truck. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you, Roseanne. There's a whole, you're walking down an aisle with a whole bunch of these all lined up. And these crate things are all, it is, it's from the stupid donuts that's why I can't stop burping. I'm probably gonna have a donut baby later on, but I feel like I have a donut baby actually, like it's stuck in my belly. So as you're walking, it's dark and there's like street lights that are lighting up every 10, 20 feet in your path. And then as you walk along, thank you, Doug. They're shipping containers. You're right. That's what they're called. See how simple that was? But it's too late and my brain is fried. And I'm so grateful to have people who can think for me. So stupid that I couldn't come up with shipping containers. But seriously, my brain is off. So as you walk, you kind of pull the rope up and you look and it's empty, and you lift this one and it's empty, and you're like, and you walk to the next one and it's empty, and I'm following you and you're lifting them all. and they're empty. And what this is showing is what could be in these containers. There's so much possibility. There's so much that could be waiting. And every time you open one, there's a bit of disappointment. There's nothing there that is exciting or that's worth going in for. So if I'm like, I'm standing here, I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can see 9 carts down. So 9, the 9th of the month, September. But 9 being a significant number for you. Because all of these, I'm not sure how many you open that are empty, but 9 seems to be a significant number. And I don't think that's how long you'll be waiting for a job. I think that is I think that's around the time that you are going to be meeting who is going to help alter your path. This energy feels very gentle, and it feels very kind and soft-spoken, and just what you'll need about that time in your life. Now, as far as work goes, these containers represent the disappointment of every time you open them, or just the feeling of when is something new going to crop up for me. What I'm going to do is pick you up, and your son turns 9 in June. Very, very cool. That's very cool. This year, he'll be 9, 2018. That's also important. So maybe it's this year that you meet her. Well, yeah, September would be this year anyway. Telling you, it's late. I'm pumpkin by like 10 o'clock. I'm one of those people who used to be like, I'm going out. Like, what is 10:30? Nothing starts until 11. And now I'm like, seriously, it's like 8. I'm ready for bed. I'm like one of those old people. So picking you up and putting you down on the earthly path, the first door on the left being money, finances, and career. What do your guides have to say about this? When I open the door, I mean, I can see the need for change. I can see the desire for change in this room. I still see money coming in, though. So I'm seeing money coming in and things going out. So money coming in, I'm seeing bills and everything still being paid. What it looks like, though, is there's a change of your career because you can go straight, but then there's a track switch. Like, as you're getting up to it, instead of going straight, it goes chook and it like turns and you're taking a different direction. And at first you're like, whoa, where am I going? What's going on here? And then all of a sudden the breeze gets warmer and you're kind of hanging on the cart and you're closing your eyes and you're just trusting that it's taking you and you don't have to do anything to make it happen. It's pretty awesome. So with career, I think it'll be, let me clarify this. I think it's in the same line of work, but I feel it's more of like supervisory or management, that you're training people or you're showing people the ropes, you're showing people things. And it feels industry, like it feels industrial. And I feel machines or I hear running of something. And it almost looks like you're wearing like safety goggles. It almost looks like you're wearing protection or something. I also can tell you that part of the change that you will have with your career is involving someone that you already know and involving a company that you already know. So a doorway that looks like it almost is a hologram right now, but it will present it as you know it. You just keep doing what you're doing and bide your time, and the job is going to appear for you, and it looks like it's a good thing. It's a good one. So All right, let me flip through this really quickly. I'm so sorry if I missed anybody. Like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing names here of people I know I didn't read, but I am totally exhausted and my eyes are twitching. I am going to do, I think the next one is May 11th that I have scheduled right now. I'm going to see about doing some during the week, though, during the weeknight rather than a Friday. And I know all my BRR people, I know you're with Jason and JV during those nights, but I'll still put it out there. And it is, hey, you know what? It's actually, you can do both because it's before their show. So what I'm talking about is Beyond Reality Radio. If nobody knows what I'm talking about. Okay, Donald, 1 second. But it's beyondrealityradio.com. And Jason Hawes and JV Johnson. Jason is from Ghost Hunters. JV Johnson is radio personality. It's also been on Ghost Hunters as well. Both good people. They run the show. They talk about everything there. I've been on that a couple of times and had the pleasure of being their guest a couple of times, which is pretty awesome. So they do their show from 12 to 2 Eastern Standard, and you can get in their chat room. And everybody just has a blast chatting. And then you can also do call-ins and get on with their guests that they have on. So it's pretty cool. Michelle, oh my gosh, I couldn't even tell you how many people I've read tonight. But really quick, Donald, when I read for people, those around them, if there's a problem for them, will come through because it'll affect that person's life. I can tell you that no worry, no problem, no concern from your guides regarding your son came through. If it had, I would have told you immediately, like you have some issues to deal with him, or there is problems. I would have told you immediately if there was anything that you needed to handle or deal with him. Yes, Doug, the Ghost Hunters, yes. Cool, and you went to school with Steve. What did I say? Ghost Adventure. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Ghost Hunters. Jason Haas from Ghost Hunters. But I would tell you, Donald, if I saw anything that you needed to worry about with him, if it were, wrong crowd, troubles with school, issues, just sleeping, attachments, anything, I would tell you immediately, especially having a 9-year-old, but I would tell you that. But if you've got a question that I did not get to tonight, you can easily just send me an email, go to my website, and you can do a contact form there with me. It'll come through and I will see that and just put, I was in the room. Do you see anything for me? And I will read for you as quickly as I can. But yeah, I have no problem doing that. So although I know I'm pushing it tonight, just shoot me an email. Anyone here tonight that didn't get read, anyone who watches this video, if you just don't ask a question, just say, I saw the video, can you please, do you have anything to tell me? That's really it. And then I will shoot you an email back, or however I have to do it. Maybe a text too. You can send me a text. All my contact information is on my website. So, I can't. Leah, I'm seriously, my eye is twitching. It's gotten very heavy. And so that's kind of like my guides are telling me that I'm done. You can even see it. My eyelids get really heavy. But thank you again to everybody. And I really do appreciate it. And the next one I'm doing, like I said, is May 11th. I believe it's May 11th at 9 again. So just get on and just let me know that you're here. And then I will get you read as fast as I can. So make sure you're here. You're welcome, Steve. You guys are welcome. Christy, I'm sorry I didn't get to you. Leah, I know you said you brought your mom. I know Michelle Harris wanted a reading. Shoot me an email and I will get to you guys. I promise I don't leave people out. So take care. And I I look forward to seeing everybody again. And you can find me on Twitter. I do readings on Twitter, daily readings there, and I do. Well, I was doing readings on Facebook, but I transferred them all to here. But you can contact me at Facebook at facebook.com/godsreader or _ Rebecca Foster at Twitter. And they're all kind of connected. So, and also subscribe here so then you can be updated to any events that I do like this. All right, so you guys take care. This is the fun part of me trying to actually shut this thing off. So you guys take care tonight, and I'll talk to you later. Good night. Night night. I'll get it sooner or later.